Do you use Excel for the web? If you do, let me show you how Ask Steve can integrate both writing into Excel sheets as well as reading from Excel sheets. So first, let's starting with the writing to. Let's say I've got a spreadsheet like this for capturing leads, and I want to very quickly get information from web pages or PDFs or whatever into this spreadsheet. Ordinarily, I have to copy and paste all that data over, but now I can build a one-click AI page scraper in Ask Steve. And the best way to do that is to actually go to the sheet that I want. Here I'm on a tracking data sheet and go to the particular tab. I'm on the leads tab. Then I'm going to open up the Ask Steve side panel, click on tools, and then click on new. It's going to detect that I'm on an Excel sheet and ask if I want to create a scraper. And then if I haven't already connected my Excel account, it's going to ask me to do so. I only need to do this once, so I'm going to do this right now. I've done it in the past, so it'll be really fast. And then I hit save, and then it's going to say, go back to your doc and press the new button again. Okay, so let's do that. New button again, press yes, and now it's going to check for access to the document. It's going to read all the headers in the document, and then it's going to construct a new tool for us and add it directly to my toolbar right here. And so here I've got my button that scrapes into leads, and so let's go try it out. So here I'm on a page full of people. Let's highlight these 4 and press our button. And what it's doing is it's using AI to take all that data that I've highlighted, turn it into the right format, and then write it directly into my Excel sheet. And we can see all the data got put in there. And then I can even select something like here, I've got a paragraph that happens to mention somebody, and I'm going to press the button and it's going to do the same thing on that paragraph. And so let's go back here and we can see that it's got everybody's first name, last name, role, company. There was no LinkedIn search URL on any of those things I highlighted, but this header gave the LLM enough of a clue to know what to put in there that it constructed a header for me. And it happened to put in first name, last name, and company, which is exactly what I wanted in the search term. So I can very quickly get to that person's profile. It captured the source URL, which is the page where I actually got that data from, and then the date. But you'll notice here that this X column is empty. It didn't know what to put in the X column because my header here is very undescriptive. And so what I can do is I can now edit this prompt to give it a clue as to what to do there. So if ever anything is going wrong in a column, like let's say it wasn't giving me the company name here, or I want to describe what I want to happen in something, what I can do is go into the tool itself. So scrape into leads here, and I can look at the instructions. Now, the top part of the instructions basically says, hey, I need you to get these fields. Here's a bunch of extra information about what's going on the web page. And then here's the format that I need everything in, and here's the text. I normally, between step 1 and 2, is where I add my extra instructions. And so here I can put something like, for the X field, guess the gender of the person and put in either male or female. Okay, so I've just given the LLM an extra clue about what to put here. I could have also just changed the name of this to gender or guess gender or something, and it could have maybe figured that out, but I can also just explicitly put it here. So I'm gonna hit save now, and we're gonna go back here and we're gonna hit the button again with these same 4 people. And what we're gonna see here now is that the X attribute is being set correctly with its guess. And if we go back and look, we can see that yes, in fact, that has now been added. So it's that easy to kind of edit the tool or the prompt to configure it to do exactly what you want. Other things you can do here are, if we look under the scrapers and APIs section of the tool, we can see that it's connected to Excel, to this particular sheet. These are all the sheets that I currently have available, and then to this particular tab within the sheet, and you can change all that. If you do end up adding more fields to the sheet and you want to regenerate the prompt, you can do so just by hitting this button. That will overwrite your existing prompt, and so if you do have a customization like this, you'll want to copy that out so that you can paste it back in when you're done. And finally, the last thing I'll show you about like writing to spreadsheets is you'll notice that I have duplicates in the spreadsheet. Maybe I don't want to allow duplicates, so let me delete these ones right here. And so what I can do is underneath the advanced settings, I can pick what columns I want to match on to skip duplicates. So I'm going to say, if first name, last name, and company match, then consider it a duplicate and do not add a new row. I'm going to hit update, and I'm going to save those changes. And so just like that, my tool is now modified to not allow any duplicates. So here, I'm going to go select all those people that I selected, plus one more here, Steve Jones. And let me get all of Steve. There we go. All of Steve. I'm going to press the button. And so what it should do is say, 4 of these people are duplicates and 1 is new. So I'm going to skip 4 and add 1. So let's see, added 1, skipped 4. That's exactly what we thought was going to happen. And we come here and only Steve Jones has been added. We'll notice here that it did not, in fact, put in the company name. So if I want that to always appear in the search, I should explicitly put that in the prompt. Okay, so that's all for writing. The other thing that you can do is you can read Excel spreadsheets. So let me open up the Ask Steve side panel and I can chat and I can say, let me ask some questions. I can say, who is a CEO? And it will read through that Excel spreadsheet and tell me the answer. And then if I run any of my tools, what it's going to do is it's going to ask me what range I want to work with. Unlike Google Sheets, where you can actually just select the range, Excel doesn't support that. And so you need to put it in explicitly. If you just leave it blank, it will just use the whole sheet. So I hit the summarize button. It's going to use the whole sheet and try to summarize everything. But if I give it a range, let's just give it a range of 2 rows. We'll go 2 to 3. And you can specify rows like this. You can specify columns, or you can specify a cell range. So I'll just go 2 to 3. Now it should just summarize, or it was 2 and 3, which is Dimitri and May. So let's see. Yeah, Dimitri and May. And then it just tells me something about the spreadsheet. So you can build tools that work with various parts of the spreadsheet, and then you can query them and do whatever kind of manipulation you want, including, and you'll see this in some of our CRM videos for like Salesforce and HubSpot, if you have done a bunch of work in Excel and you have leads or candidates or whatever, and you want to get them into a CRM, you can now build a tool that will automatically scrape the content out of this Excel sheet and get them into that CRM. Okay, the last thing I'll show you is just like how to kind of manage this connection. The connection was auto-created when we tried to create a tool, but I can go manage it directly. If I go down to scrapers and APIs and just click on this gear icon, that takes me to the connections page. And this is where I can create new connections, and you can see all the different ones that we currently support, where you can edit this connection and change the name or reconnect it and delete the connection. So give it a try. And if you have any questions or issues, let us know in our user community. Thanks.